Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. It is time to satisfy your itch for the Switch It Up Show. My name is Glenn, and I am your host, or one of your hosts today, here on the fabulous show of the Switch It Up variety, and I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Seth Trav.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
It sounds like you got that itch, my man. You know I got that itch. How about you?
No, I mean, I am always suffering, a heavy case of the itch for the Switch, and we're actually going to present a new format, premiere it right now to the whole World Wide Web through this podcast of the Switch It Up Show. We're going to switch it up, if you will, with how we present the show to you. Mr. Trav and I were talking a little earlier about kind of just like the flow of the show, and we're going to take a moment to refocus the attention on the games themselves. So you're going to hear not just previews of games that are coming out, but also the reviews that we bring you at the end. So we're going to start going through the eShop, hitting some of the games we're really excited to talk about, and then we're going to talk about the ones that we actually reviewed and played. But before we do that, let's go ahead, relax with a few more moments of these sweet, sweet tunes.
Anamanaguchi.
That's it, my dude, the whole show. And if you're interested in any of the music that you're going to hear in today's episode and any episode of the Switch It Up Show, please do yourself a favor and check out the show notes where you will find links to all the tunes featured herein. Now, Mr. Setrav, it is time for Press Continue, probably one of our main segments now, where we talk about some of the games that are coming out in the eShop. And we are super, super fortunate to be blessed by so many games coming out to the eShop that we've actually just chosen a few to touch on briefly. Because if we were to hit them all, there'd probably be about 20 games every single week. And that's a good problem to have.
It is.
Mr. Trav, before I go ahead and delve into it, I want to be a polite guy. I want to be a gentleman and respect your wishes and desires and ask you if you have a game that you'd like to lead it off with.
I actually do.
I knew you did.
I wanted to talk about this one coming out on December the 7th, 2018. I believe that is this Thursday.
So, see, this is how you know I'm struggling, because I had to pull out the calendar, and it is in fact this Friday, because that's the same day that Smash Brothers comes out.
That's true. So, December 7th, I wanted to talk about Sega Genesis Classics, my man.
It's on my list, too.
Dude, you know I love it. It's including 50 titles across all genres, from all-time classics like Sonics and Street, like the Sonics.
Like the Sonics, yeah.
All the Sonics. Streets of Rage 2, to deep RPGs like that OG Phantasy Star, which people love. You know, I remember doing a little bit of the Phantasy Star Online, too. On the Dreamcast, just a bit. Like I drug a phone line out and I actually like booted in and everything. It's crazy. But yeah, it's gonna be $29.99 for over 50 Sega Genesis classics. Like that to me feels perfectly worth it. So definitely would think about getting the Sega Genesis classics.
Oh, absolutely, man, my man. I'm checking out it's kind of neat. The screenshots of it actually look like they're in someone's room, like you're in someone's bedroom.
That. That's an awesome effect.
And you can play it like while it's sitting up on a TV, and there is a shot of all like the Genesis games in the box, and you can just go through and like pick them out.
Detail.
I see Sonic the Hedgehog. I think I see Sonic 1, 2.
I saw Rise Star.
Yeah, I saw
Flicky.
Yeah, Rise Star's awesome. And I think it's.
Where's my dude Vector Man? Where's they?
I can't actually. I think that's the last game over there on the side. I'm definitely gonna have to go out and check this list. And they have columns. I know you're probably all about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna check that out. But another game that I kind of want to check out, and I think you can make fun of me for this, but I feel like this is interesting to have on the Switch, and that's gonna be Santa Tracker for $2.99. Yo, Santa Tracker's legit. Okay, so I'm gonna hit you with the description here. The only place to track Santa on Nintendo Switch. Read Santa's very own blog as he prepares for the big day and receive exclusive news stories from the North Pole. Use the Advent calendar to find out where Santa has been spotted during the run up to Christmas. Is he working in the toy factory, going for a ride, or just having a cup of tea? On Christmas Eve, he will travel the world, delivering in every time zone from New Zealand to San Francisco after the kids have fallen asleep. It features the Santa Tracker Globe, Christmas Countdown, Santa's blog, news and letters, and sightings of Santa. You can actually track exactly where Santa is going as he flies throughout the world. This is the type of thing that you would always check out on a website. That's at least how I remember checking out Santa Tracker, or they would show it on the news.
I would say something.
Yeah.
Or, I was one of those dudes who went to church on Christmas Eve.
Oh man.
So we would hear the radio all the way back home, and it'd be like, Santa Claus is spotted over wherever it's the darkest, over parts of Europe.
I'd be like, oh no, we gotta get home before he gets there. I don't know. I think that's cool. I
love that stuff.
It's $2.99. Feel like maybe it should be a little bit cheaper, just so everybody can get it, because it's the same type of thing you could probably do through a web browser. So
99-cent that thing.
Exactly, my man. Or they don't do ads, but I'd be like, have it supported with ads. So who knows? But Santa Tracker, I'm into that. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I dig it. So you know how I love a puzzle game.
Oh my dude, I know.
You know how I'm the basic boy of gaming and all that. I just saw a game, awesome looking puzzle game called Color Zen. It comes out December 6th, 2018.
I have this up too.
The price is free.
Oh.
It says it's free. So Color Zen is a new kind of puzzle game, one that invites you to put on your headphones, relax, and find your way through an abstract world of colors and shapes. That sounds like my bag, my dude.
It's kind of interesting because in the description it says there's 460 levels to solve, and then in parentheses it says they're all DLCs.
All DLC. So I feel like it might be one of those things where you download it and then you have to buy the packs.
Yeah.
Sort of like these pinball games that I love so much, like the Zen pinballs and whatnot. I would definitely love to try it. Because free, probably not really free. But Color Zen, if you get it, let me know all about it and tell me how free is free over at Switch It Up Show on Twitter or SethTrap on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I think that should be cool. I'm excited for that. Let's see what else here. It looks pretty cool. I think Toki looks really neat. Toki is $29.99. It is a side scroller, 2D platformer. The graphics are really, really cool. They look hand-drawn. Toki sets off on a new adventure. The cult action platform game originally released in the arcade machines in 1989 is back with a new Super Simian new version featuring all new hand-drawn graphics and reorchestrated music. It looks awesome. If you've never played Toki before, I think they actually came out on PlayStation back in the day. But I mean, the graphics on it look awesome. It's $29.99. Feel like that's a little bit pricey, but it definitely looks like the people who did work on this put their heart and soul into it. It looks beautiful. If you end up checking it out, let me know over on Twitter, at Switch It Up Show, what you think about it, because it looks like a lot of fun.
I got one more that I'm really stoked about, because like I was saying, big puzzle guy. Also coming out on December 6th, 2018, $19.99. It is going to be Carcassonne? Carcassonne?
Oh, Carcassonne, yeah, that's based on a board game.
Carcassonne, yes, based on the board game. It is a tabletop sort of realms, build your kingdom type game where you lay down pieces of kingdom and you keep building it up and build cities and roads and awesome standard sort of RTS style things, but with more of a board game kind of feel. It looks like there may be online capabilities. Yeah, so I would be super, super stoked to be able to play this online against anybody. Because I am looking to get Civ online, which you were saying dude, you can't get online.
Not for the Switch, no.
Man. But yeah, this is a game I definitely would love to check out. Carcassonne.
Yeah, man, I hope that like more board games make their way over onto the Switch because of the way that you can actually lay the Switch out like down and be able to play with it. I feel like it.
Dude, like Monopoly. I feel like I really want to get Monopoly and just play Monopoly with people.
There's a I think there's a Hasbro board collection that has it that comes with some other stuff too.
Really?
And I think it's on the cheaper side. So I feel like it's definitely worth checking out.
Well, we got Smash Brothers coming, my guy.
Yeah, right.
Friday.
I know, so soon, man.
Dude, we're gonna have to have the Rando Jones Memorial Tournament.
I know we're pumped about that.
I'm very pumped about the Rando Jones Memorial Tournament, where we play 5 lives and you select random. That's right, random characters, random levels, random
Jones.
That's it, Random Jones. The tournament. We're gonna see how many people we can get in there. It looked like you could do you could set up 72 people tournaments.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's insane.
The maximum number you could have like just sitting and doing like a tournament thing. I don't know about online though. Probably like in-person tournaments for that number because I'm sure like this is designed to be like the tournament game, take it out in the esports areas. I'd love to go pro Smash Bros.
That'd be an intense lifestyle.
Isn't that the goal?
Is that the goal? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, we could go pro something else.
You can do it. I had to double check myself. By the way, for Civ 6, it has cooperative and competitive multiplayer for up to 4 players via wireless LAN. So,
okay, so if you're
gotta be there
in the same area,
yes,
you can sit there and okay, that's not bad.
No, not bad. But I mean, we'd be a lot cooler to just fire it up and be able to play it like right then.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that's kind of cool to like get together again with your buddies.
It's super cool.
And now you're sitting on your Switch.
It's definitely cool, but like I would like the option to be able to play like against like strangers, like online.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like start up a random match.
Yeah.
And just sit for like 9.5 hours.
It'd be a long time.
Like that's crazy.
Or you know what? Like some of them actually do it like there's games where you can set up and you play via you play online and it just alerts you when it's your turn and you have X amount of time to take it.
Yeah.
So that would be cool, especially like some longer games that take a while to set up. But my man, let's talk about one more before we go ahead and roll into the reviews, the last of the previews, and that's going to be Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. We actually reviewed the first Monster Boy in the way long ago here on the Switch It Up show, and the sequel is out right now, or will be as of tomorrow. It's $39.99, and it's going to be the next review here on the Switch It Up show on our next episode. A legendary series returns with a grand new adventure. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom borrows the best from the classic series to deliver a fresh, modern adventure with fun gameplay, memorable music, and gorgeous hand-drawn animations. It looks awesome. If you are a fan of the Monster Boy in general, I'm sure this one is going to be right up your alley. The graphics look gorgeous. The gameplay from the original one is spot on. Awesome, like platformer action game. I feel like this one's going to be too. And if you are interested in hearing all about it, make sure that you subscribe to the Switch It Up show right here on the Preach Network so you can get that episode next week when it premieres. It's going to be a good time, I promise you.
Yeah, man, that game looked awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be fun. And this, of course, it means that it is time for our reviews segment, Mr. Trav. So I want to hear all about the game that you are reviewing this week.
Today, my guy, a game that really surprised me. It's called Crashlands. It's $14.99, and you get 75 gold points when you buy it on the Nintendo eShop. Fight and tame alien beasts, craft menacing weaponry, and build the perfect base. Befriend the outlandish locals. Play as Flux Debes, a galactic delivery truck driver whose latest shipment gets interrupted by a megalomaniacal alien named Hewagoduku, who tears her ship to pieces looking for useful tech. Crash landed on Wanope. You must fight, tame, craft, quest, boss fight, and adventure your way to domination of all the things so that you and Juicebox, your trusty sidekick / supervisor / robotic cargo pallet, can send a message to the Bureau of Shipping and get those packages delivered. So, This game is basically what happens is you crash on this planet. After you're on this ship where it gives you the little bit of tutorials, you can see the video of it over on our YouTube page, which you can get to by going to www.preesh.us. That's preesh.us, Preesh. So anyway, had to get the plug in.
Got him, my dude.
You gotta get the plug in. So the game is you crash on this planet. You have no resources. You have a few, and this robot goes around with you and tells you, hey, this is like how to build stuff. These are the resources you need. You've got to create like a home area, and these are the animals you need to fight and sort of kill and keep attacking to get more resources. Then you just build more things. You go further. You attack bigger things. You get more resources. You die a bunch, and you repeat. And you get a bunch of neat little weird lore about these floating, like sort of pug dog looking things. They look kind of like a combination between like a fly and a pug dog. Kind of funny.
Okay.
Neat. And then other kinds of aliens, and you just keep upgrading. You keep going to different worlds. You can get pets of the enemies that you defeated that then go help you fight the bigger enemies and stuff like that. The game really, really surprised me. And it seems like it might have originally been designed for mobile, which I think it was. Because it's one of those games where a timer is set after you build something or you have to start crafting a resource, and it says like you have this much time to wait. Now the time is super sort of sped up, and nothing so far took me like 25 minutes or anything like that, but it does take about 15 every now and then for the bigger sort of crafting stations and things like that. It's one of those awesome games where you just go around, you collect your resources, and you keep leveling up. You know what I mean? The fights are varying in difficulty, which you need, because sometimes it's, again, one of those things where you sort of wander into an area that you definitely shouldn't because you're not at a level high enough. Huge. It's a huge game, and you can very easily spend like 15 hours playing it, which is great. Like I said, I was super shocked by it, and the music was fun. The animation styles are great. The enemy types are great. They're all varying in their sort of differences, but at the same time, they're a little similar. Like the animation styles look the same, or the animation styles look different, but the sort of attacks that they do to you are the same. Just slight variations on them. Like you get one that'll shoot rockets at you, one that shoots sort of laser things at you, then one that shoots 3 lasers at you instead of just one. And it's like, okay, cool. All that being said, the game crashed on me a bunch, which had never happened to me before when I was playing the Switch. Like I've never had a game completely crash, and it crashed multiple times. And I swear every now and then I would start the game up and I would be missing like weapons or items, and then the game would crash a bunch more. So that sucks. It definitely needs a patch, at this point. Because like I said, it crashed a bunch on me, so much so that I'm knocking it down to the rating I'm going to give it now, which is going to be a 4 out of 5. Because it crashed a bunch, but the game was so fun, and it really, really, really took me. Like I was hooked. I was so hooked on Crashlands, and once that like patch comes out to address those few issues, hopefully you'll all get as hooked as well on Crashlands.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, when you said it was going to get knocked down because of the crashing issue, I was expecting a much lower score, but I mean, it really must have got you. For a game to sort of take you by surprise the way this game did, and have me playing it for like 12 hours, and keep going back and keep wanting to play it, and even like after it would crash, I'd just be like, well, damn it. And I'd start it up again and be like, this sucks, and I just keep starting it because it really it was very, very fun. It's the style, it's the sort of irreverent humor, it's the exploratory aspect of it. It's like SteamWorld Dig in that regard, where it's so simple a thing to do, where it's just like just go, and anything that you come across, try to hit it. If you can't hit it,
build something that'll let you hit it. That's it. And it's fun. It's captivating. It's a captivating play style. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
Awesome, dude. I mean, that's a great score. I feel like you and I are probably in the same, had a similar experience this week. I played 911 Operator, a game that I didn't like. I was excited to play it because I think the subject matter is cool. I remember watching Rescue 911 when I was like little.
Did you watch the show 911?
Well, it used to I remember like the commercials like coming on because it would come on like right after right around Unsolved Mysteries, which I watched religiously, despite the fact that it was terrifying. And Rescue 911 would always come on. I'd be like, whoa. So this reminded me, harkened me back to a simpler time, if you will. And let me hit you with a little bit of a synopsis, and I'll tell you a little bit about my experience. People's lives are in your hands. In 911 Operator, you take on the role of an emergency dispatcher who has to rapidly deal with the incoming reports. Your task is not just to pick up the calls, but also to react appropriately to the situation. Sometimes giving first aid instructions is enough. At other times, the police, the fire department, or paramedics' intervention is a necessity. Keep in mind that the person on the other line might just turn out to be someone's dying daughter, or an unpredictable terrorist, or maybe even just a prankster. Can you handle all of this? Specifically redesigned for Nintendo Switch, 911 Operator lets you put your patience and management skills to the test. Whether you're eager to save lives or on the go, or want to give out orders from the comfort of your couch with a Pro Controller, because this game supports a Pro Controller, which is funny.
Did you use the Pro Controller at all?
No, I used the handheld. I have the Pro Controller, but I played this in the comfort of my own bed.
I know you do.
So I had I don't know. You could use a Pro Controller with this, but I'm not sure. But basically, in this, what you are, of course, is you are the 911 dispatcher. You are sitting right there when the call comes in, and basically you have a map of a town in front of you. And it says there's over 900 different towns, 900 different cities. And what happens is, as you're working, you have this career of being an emergency dispatcher, and you start off in a smaller town, and you start to work your way up. And of course, as you do so, you get more and more things that you have to deal with, and they come in quicker, and they sometimes might be more complicated. But how it starts off originally is that in front of you, you have a screen that's got your town name at the top, has your resources all the way on the left-hand side, where you get to kind of hire your people. So you get to hire different police officers, medics, and firefighters, and they all have like a skill that's usually like driving, and like police officer, it's driving and marksmanship. For a medic, it's driving and first aid. For a firefighter, it's driving and their technical skill, like how good they are at fighting the fires. And you can go ahead and you can hire these people. They all cost money in order to do that. You can buy different vehicles for them to have. Some hold more firefighters so they can deal with the bigger fires without necessarily having to call for backup. Same thing with like the medics and the police officers. You can even give someone like a police officer a motorcycle so they can get to someone really quick. So you can kind of customize the experience like that, and you can upgrade the weapons that they carry. So you can really kind of like get into it and
it sounds a little like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, a little bit in that respect. But then what happens is, once you go ahead and you do that and you start the game, you're presented with almost like a night vision type map of the city. And the first thing you have to do is go ahead and spread out all of your resources. So you get to place your police officers, medics, and firefighters wherever you think they might be like most available.
Do you have like a bad part of town that you could like set them in on the map?
No, not that I've encountered. But what will happen is like basically, because everyone kind of starts off in the middle, so you want to kind of spread them out a little bit. That way you have like everybody around. That way, because you never know when the call is going to come in. So then you go ahead and you hit play, and you can control the speed of how fast the action happens. So if nothing happens, because there are moments where you're kind of just watching the screen, waiting for something to pop up. And sometimes things will kind of happen naturally. Like you'll just see like a blip come up that indicates like, oh, there's a blue exclamation point here. I got to send a police officer there. Or this one needs a police officer and it also needs a medic. So I'm going to dispatch these two people there. And it's
like a real 911 operator.
Exactly. Just the same. And all you really have to do is click on the unit and then click on the event and they go there.
You're Halle Berry.
Exactly. Just in that it's not Kidnap. What was it called? One where she's in Dispatcher.
It might have been Kidnapped.
Might have been. That movie looked good. One of these days I gotta watch that.
Yeah, there you go.
But you're just going through and you're dispatching people, and it starts to come in more rapidly as it gets more difficult. And of course, like one of the big things is the 911 calls, because in addition to the calls kind of happening naturally and people things being reported, 911 calls will come in, and when they do, you have to answer them. And the whole time as you're dispatching and like solving things and moving things around, you're getting graded. You have a reputation that you have to try to uphold because your goal is to get promoted and move on to the next city. So you have to try to answer the call as quickly as possible. And while you're doing this, other things are popping up and you kind of have to like navigate what's on there. And as the person is talking on the other line, and remember the clock is always ticking, you have to go through and you have
multitasking.
to be exactly. And you have to respond to them. And your goal is not only to find out like where it's happening, but like what's happening. So sometimes I was on one call where it sounded like someone was prank calling me, like they were asking for like a sandwich. And a couple of the things are like, you can be dismissive. You can ask them like what type of sandwich. You can like ask them if there's an emergency. You can ask them where they are.
Can you like have a cop go out and like SWAT team him?
You can send police to like any type of
directly to him
of like any type of thing, and you have the ability to ignore as well. Like if you think something is like
maybe an offense to actually call and like prank call 911.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that really. But in this game, like as it turns out, some of the people who are like prank calling you are actually in danger. Like I had someone who sounded like they were prank calling me, but as I kept her on the phone longer, I was able to discern that there was an armed gunman in her house. And she wasn't able to tell it to me.
That sounds awesome.
Well, yeah, but like some of these 911 calls like get a little like intense. Like,
oh my god,
like they make you feel a little uncomfortable. You're like, you did like they definitely like. I mean, it's a 911 dispatch game, so they're going for the real experience. Right. I had a good time with this. I normally don't like these type of like management type games, but like this was fun. Like I wanted to it kept me wanting to keep playing. The only thing that kind of like got under my skin a little bit is there's a mechanic where you'll send maybe you'll send a police officer somewhere, and while they're there there'll be like a firefight, and they start shooting and people will start shooting back at them and someone needs to go to the hospital. So that event will get updated and they'll be like, okay, well now we need an ambulance, and you have to send an ambulance there. But sometimes it's hard to tell that they need an additional unit because it'll get a little like red like exclamation point on it, but it doesn't like prompt you, like nothing pops up. So you kind of have to keep in your mind, be like, hey, I sent these police officers over to this one spot a while ago. Like, why are they still there? So you can go over and like click on them and then it'll pop up and it'll give you an update, which is fine. But like, I wish it was a little more obvious that when it was happening that it was in there, because in the moment, like I'm doing like 6 other things at the same time. I do have to go back and check on them, but I can't always go back and check on them, So I don't know if that's just part of the game and I'm supposed to be like keeping my eye everywhere, or if that's like a shortcoming. So I'm not really sure about that, because every time it would take a little bit while and be like, man, those guys have been there a long time, and you need them for other stuff. Not to mention, like, people can get hurt. So if you have certain firefighters, and maybe you only have 2 firefighters, and sometimes firefighters need backup. So, and then a third fire springs up. So you have both your units on one. There's another fire, and you don't have another unit. Like maybe one of those firefighters gets hurt, so you have to send an ambulance over there to take him to the hospital, and then you're short a firefighter, which means you're missing an engine. So it's like, oh man, I should have bought one before because now I don't have one. So like you have to prepare for all these things. Just because it starts off as one thing, like it could easily become another. I've had ones where I've had to send 2 police officers, an ambulance, and a firefighter to it, and I've been like, oh my god, like they're taking up all these resources. Happening? But it gets crazy, but in like a good way. This game's $14.99 on the eShop. I would definitely recommend picking it up if you're into these type of games. I don't really even like these type of games, and I had a really good time with it. There were 2 different DLCs for it, which I'm gonna have my eye on as well. They're $5.99 and $3.99. One of them is called Every Life Matters, where it talks about the Boston riots. So that should be interesting. There's different reinforcement functions. It says there's 12 new conversations that can happen, 2 new cities, 4 special events. And then there's another one called Special Resources, which brings you different emergency vehicles. You get bicycles, unmarked police cars, a sports car, an armored van, a large police helicopter, a medical bike, a large ladder for tall buildings, and a mobile hospital that can be set up by firemen. So a whole bunch of like different things you can add on. So if you want kind of like the whole shebang, you're looking at spending, what was that, 6, 4, 10, about $25, and you can get all of it. So try out the original game for $14.99. I think this game's awesome. I'm gonna give this a 4.5. It was great. I don't know necessarily what would make this game like a 5 for me. Maybe if that one call out I had about like when events need to be updated, if that was just a little more obvious. But aside from that, 911 Operator is awesome, man. I had a great time.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
It sounds like it really gets you there. Like it's really putting you in the seat of Halle Berry.
Yeah, I think that's the tagline.
Halle Berry Simulator 2018
on the bottom of it. But guys, hopefully you guys had as great of a time here on the Switch It Up show as I did with 911 Operator. Let us know what you think about the new revamped format of the Switch It Up show and what games you're looking forward to this week. And remember, if things ever get boring, you can always switch it up.